evening, everyone, and welcome to D&D Self-Diceolation. I'm Tom, and I'll be your Dungeon Master for tonight.
Hi, I'm Rich, and I'll be playing Bagerac, the Half-Orc Barbarian.
Hi, I'm Em, and I'm playing Faix, the Changeling Blood Hunter.
Hey, I am Lacey. I am playing Jamesy, Jameson, James the James, and Aarakocra Ranger.
Hi, I'm Oakley, and I'm playing Lours, the Kalashtar Druid.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm playing Magemak, a reforged Celestial Warlock, having given up my path to Mashulk and now a servant of Primus.
Hi, I'm Bell, and I'm playing Natasha Bardingfield, the Swiftfoot Halfling Bard.
Hi, I'm Shawbor, and I'm playing Relaxio, a Yanti, Pureblood Warlock.
So yes, good evening everyone. Welcome back to another D&D Self-Diceolation.
Hey, good evening, Dice Roll fans.
How are we all doing?
I can hear him smiling when he says it.
I know. So,
Radiant.
let's get into it then. So last time, you were granted access to the archives of the Wizards' College in Waterdeep. Relaxio chose to remain behind in his room within Vasily's elemental abode, citing that he needed some, quote, personal time. In the archives, you were ambushed by a figure wearing Crimson Order robes. Whilst Aradel, your tiefling guide, managed to teleport you all to safety, it appeared that she perished in a wall of flames whilst doing so. You found yourselves in a series of old tunnels of unknown design. Exploring through, it became apparent to Faix, and then the rest of you, that these were not only Crimson Order facilities, but the same facilities where Faix was held and tortured. With the aid of the ghost of a former researcher, you managed to navigate your way through the tunnels to the Crimson Archive, where a beholder had taken up residence, making the archive the heart of its lair and preventing you from leaving. A fierce battle ensued. Magemak tested the limits of his physical limits of his new mechanical body with an improvised beholder rodeo. Faix came perilously close to being turned to stone by a stray eye ray, and Natasha managed to exploit the creature's deepest, darkest fears. Finally, Bagerac impaled the monster with a javelin, driving it home through its bulbous sphere of a body and tearing off an eye stalk as a trophy. With the beholder's influence gone, the wizards in the college above became immediately aware of the presence of the Crimson Archive and the treasures within. A team of wizards teleport in to begin recovery of our adventurers and the resources of the archive, led by a miraculously unharmed Aradel. So you are still within the vault at the bottom of the Crimson Archive, surrounded by books and various treasures and ornaments. A group of about half a dozen wizards, all wearing robes of the Wizards' College, have just beamed in. And standing in front of you is Aradel, whose robes are quite badly singed, burnt up at the sleeves, looking quite badly beaten. But her skin, her hair, her horns, completely untouched. And she looks around and goes, well, so this is where you all ended up.
Did you not fucking die down there?
I'm going to be honest, I thought you might have put it together. I'm a tiefling. Our people are notoriously flame resistant. That and my great-grandfather literally came from an abyssal plane where it rains fire. So, aside from maybe needing to see an outfitter in the next couple of days, I'm quite well. Thank you for your concern.
I could singe the rest off for you if you want.
That's quite all right. I've had enough flame exposure for today.
It's quite good with it, you know.
No doubt. Well, it looks like you've found a fair amount of interesting items down here. I'll have our team collect and catalogue everything. Obviously, it would be unfair to deny you a small finder's fee, but by the same token, we don't know exactly how dangerous some of these items are. So I will have the team here box everything up and take it back up to the college, and we'll be in touch with your reward.
Whoa. So what you're saying is that we just took out a beholder and we're just going to get a few copper for it rather than like some of these sick items that are going to be floating around.
What I'm saying is, you found yourselves in what is fundamentally an arsenal of one of the largest underground organisations we've ever encountered. And some of these items may be slightly more dangerous then I'm willing to leave in your sort of capable hands.
I don't know what she's talking about. What waving my eyes talk about.
Well, I'm glad you've got a trophy. I know how important these things are to your people.
Gotta look great on
Very
the
well.
wall.
If you'll just step with me, I'll return you all back to the surface. And she begins casting a teleport spell on the floor. You can see the runes starting to glow around her feet. She just beckons you all to step in. And there's that same weird sort of tug at the back of your stomach, and you materialize just outside of the gates of the Wizard College. She turns to you and says, "As I said, I'll be in touch," and goes back inside. As soon as you get back outside, Bagerac, you can hear a faint chiming that appears to be coming from your backpack.
Good.
Just every so often, just bing, bing, bing.
I think you've got a message, Badger.
I'm just going to say, does anyone else hear that?
I think you've got a message, Bagerac.
Is there a pigeon?
Just going to shake the backpack out onto the floor.
Okay, so amongst the various items that you've got in there,
Half of which are rotten.
also falls out is the scribe that Vasily gave to you to open the door to the elemental abode, and you can see that the gem on top of it is every so often just going bing and glows blue, bing and glows blue, bing and glows blue.
I touch it.
As soon as you touch it, there is a sudden rush of air as Relaxio is ejected from the gem on the scribe and lands sprawled on the floor, having tried to use the door whilst you guys had taken it away.
Shouldn't have touched
Brother, where have you been?
it.
I was in my room working out. Completely unrelated though. The mansion is now out of toilet roll, and none of us have got any socks.
Did it not occur to you that we weren't in the mansion?
Tried turning them inside out.
I didn't have
Well-
any socks to start with, it's fine.
I was listening to my music through my my runman.
A Sawney.
Must not have heard you going.
I'm going to pick all my shit back up and just put it back in the bag.
So, as you're Badrak, as you're putting your stuff back into your backpack, you can see that just next to Lours' foot, a few of the cobblestones have just started to like shuffle, like there's something underneath them.
I'm going to get a javelin and prod him.
Oh God, do I see this?
You certainly see Badrak advancing on your feet with a javelin. That's hard to miss.
I just back away from that. I don't want anything to do with that.
As you do, the cobblestones come loose, aided by Badrak's javelin, and just fall across to the side. And the dirt underneath just sort of like boils up and over and reveals a small mole with a tiny bicycle emerging from the hole. They're not riding the bicycle, they're just sort of dragging it out with them. And
Right.
they look up at Lours and pull out from a tiny satchel a small set of pince-nez glasses, pops them on its nose, pulls out a small piece of parchment, and lets it go. "Excuse me, mate. Are you Mr. and consults the note. Mr. Louis R.S.
Sure. Yes. Yes, that sounds about right.
Fantastic. I've been looking for you, mate. Just to let you know that Archdruid Galagel Tathviel has summoned you to assist in establishing a new druidic site in the Mystic Forest.
Do I know that name?
Make me a history check, please.
Does anyone know
You
what
got
roast
your
mole
name
tastes
wrong!
like?
The mole got your name wrong! Oh, that's great!
Natural 20.
That's really great.
Oh, come on, pet, calm down. My eyes aren't that great.
It's not your fault. He's got a stupid name, innit? Who calls himself Louis RS?
I'm just going to go. Does anyone know what roast mole tastes like?
Natural 20 on the history check, by the way.
Nat 20, okay.
You know
Um,
nothing.
21.
Is it?
Whilst you've not met this individual personally, you are aware of the name of Archdruid Tathviel as being an incredibly old druid. They are probably close to maybe 300 years old. And they were one of the sort of chief military advisors to the Plane of Concord at the time of the Unraveling.
Oh, okay.
So this is a name that carries with it a certain weight and authority amongst druids.
Okay, cool.
The mole checks back down at the notes and goes, "Oh, and they've invited all your friends here as well."
Convenient.
As a lot of you look around, you see Faye heading towards the gates, trying to catch up with Aradel. And she just says,
Bird at
"This,
everyone else.
I've seen enough for today. Talking moles are past what I want to deal with. I'm going to go check out the notes that we've recovered from the archive. I'll catch you guys later." She goes with Aradel into the college.
Just have a good reason not to be there, like wanking.
Exercising.
Sorry, exercising.
Exercising them demons, huh?
So, can I eat the mole now?
You can certainly try. How are you trying to eat the mole?
Just trying to skewer it with a javelin.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought he was only trying to eat the one, not the mole.
Yeah.
Oh dear. If you can just make me a
Psychic
dex,
damage check.
make me a dex
A
check.
what?
Dex check for trying to
right.
kebab a mole.
Can I try and stop him? Or can I help the mole to
Do you know
avoid
what? Do you know
him?
what's good with eating mole?
It's an 8.
Molasses.
No. So as you go to spear the mole, he immediately jumps on this tiny bike and just cycles circles around to the other side of Lours, where you can't hit him.
And yeah, I'm just going. I'm guessing Lours tells me not to eat them all.
I'm so sorry about that, friend. He just
no worries.
he's so hungry. And he doesn't really understand.
Is the bike too small for me to ride on?
This bike
also
is
correct.
the bike is like barely like 6 inches long. It is literally just small enough for the mole to use, and that's it.
So no.
Tom, would you say this mole was rather hairy?
Oh
Um,
God. Let's go.
No hairier than any other mole. It's got that sort of like velvety kind of thing going on.
But would you say he was maybe pretty good at cooking? Let me ask him, Mr. Mole, are you good at cooking?
Not really, mate. I just sort of
Dear God, what is about to happen?
just eat worms. It's like my main stock and trade.
Okay. Oh, what was your name, by the way?
I don't have a name. I'm a mole.
Molly, Molly, Molly.
Mole, 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 mole.
I'm just
No.
a bicycle riding messenger mole. Don't have a name.
See, told you, no one will miss him if I eat him.
Hey, Laws, have you been to the doctor recently? You should get that mole on your leg checked out.
Oh,
Everyone in the group takes 1 point of psychic damage.
Yes! AoE!
Natasha takes 24.
Well, then I feel like we should name the mole.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna take more psychic damage.
No, we should call the mole something like Myers or King. We'll call him King.
Well, that's a pretty regal name.
Wasn't it number 2?
What do you mean?
No, he was the mole. That was the whole point.
Oh, it was called number 2.
Can we call him Monty?
You
Monty the
can
Mole.
call me whatever you like, mate. It probably won't stick. I'm just
His
here.
first name Del.
I'm just delivering to you from I've come from the one druid site, past another druid site. The archdruid said, "Here, take this message. find this chap, give him the note.
Better.
There's a map as well. He pulls out like a little map.
Ooh.
For you.
Just so you know, buddy, change your name to Pooh because at some point it's Dick.
I'd like to know more about this mole. Do you have a family?
I do. I've got
him.
I've got my mole wife, my mole kids, back in the Druids Grove where I came from.
They met many kids.
Can we just bypass the short conversation? And just, what is in this note?
So the note basically is inviting all of you as guests of Lours to travel to the Misty Forest, which the map indicates is some 2 to 3 days southeast of Waterdeep. The mole points out it takes significantly longer than that if you're burrowing and dragging a bicycle along. And
why did he bring the bicycle?
Oh, it's part of my heritage. It's how our grove got its name.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm a biker mole from Biker Grove.
Why did we see it?
Why did you set it up?
And all of you didn't want me to eat him.
Now you can eat him. I was just step out of the way.
So yes, the note is inviting Lours and his travelling companions to the Misty Forest to assist in establishing a new Druidic grove in the Misty Forest. The note mentions that your particular party's exploits have not gone unnoticed, and they could make use of your skills.
I am definitely going.
Sure, I'll go.
Okay.
It might mean, yeah.
I'll follow you.
So,
better than you.
The map that you've been provided with basically takes you along the main trade route from Waterdeep through the town of Daggerford at the end of your first day, where you're all able to take a long rest and recover any lost hit points, spell slots. I will say that as a result of your experiences in the Crimson Archive, you have all received 1,441 experience points each.
Apart from
how much?
How much, sorry?
All of you receive 1,441 experience points.
1,141.
1,441.
Oh, 400.
1,441.
I am giddy.
Did you say we've had a long rest?
Relaxio, you will also get those experience points because technically you were present, albeit trapped inside the key.
I'll take it.
I think that's added. I don't know.
And essentially a long rest.
And long rest.
Yeah. Lovely.
What am I up to?
Are you double checking, Tom? 1440.
1441.
Man, it's always really hard when we get experience. All of us fuck it up.
Yeah.
It's literally 4 numbers. It's not like
Wizardry.
Well, technically, it's not. It's 2 numbers.
Look, mate, I was playing with the dice on D&D.
And you got distracted.
So, you know, that would be why. I'm just being ignorant.
Okay, so take your long rest in Daggerford and you continue on.
Hooray.
Daggerford is a small town, so if you wanted to pick up any supplies in terms of rations or anything, you're able to do so. If any of you want who have got less than 10 rations, set your rations to 10. And resupply any hempen rope or water skins you may need.
Dirty.
End of the second day brings you to the there's a halfway house called the Way Inn along the trade route, which is the end of your second day. And again, long rest. Nice.
Sorry, did I get that right? There's this place called Way Inn, as in Way Man.
Way Inn, because it's an inn along the tradeway.
Okay.
It's a way in.
So
I thought it was another Geordie pun.
No, the Well, I cannot confirm or deny the presence of any additional Geordie puns later on in the session. So, dawn arrives on the third morning, and you are basically at the edge of the Misty Forest at this point. And following the map, you come to the edge of the tree line. After a few minutes of sort of getting your bearings, Lours, you immediately recognise a series of druidic markers leading into the woods, various sort of essentially where flowers have been grown into a specific pattern, or where there are certain arrangements of like the knots on tree trunks. And after a few hours of following this sort of trail of breadcrumbs, you eventually arrive at the site of this new grove. It's a big open space in a forest clearing, clear view, straight up through the canopy to the sky. The centre is occupied by this large sort of ritual circle. There is a sort of stone dais in the middle, with smaller stones arranged at the primary compass points around the outside. There are like sort of limestone, sort of like lime and chalk ruts cut into the ground, linking these up in a sort of almost like spiraling kind of runic pattern on there. Towards the outside, there are small huts that have been made of where the roots of the various trees have been grown up into these little domed spaces. And just sort of going back and forth doing general busy work are a number of druids in sort of leather armour, a few in robes, some of them cultivating plants, others are just sort of checking the arrangements on the circle. And in the dead centre is a fairly tall wood elf. They've got this almost like suntanned copper skin, long, loose hair, which is roughly the colour of like leaves turn in autumn, sort of orangey brown. And one of the more striking features is they have a thin set of antlers growing out from their forehead. And as you approach, they are just sort of having a quick chat with one of the druids and turn to notice you and go, "Welcome, Brother Lours, and our warmest greetings to your travelling companions. I am Archdruid Tathviel. What a pleasure it is to have you join us for such a momentous occasion. The sanctifying of a new grove is always a reason to celebrate, especially with friends."
Honoured. It's an honour to be here.
Oh, honestly, the spirits of nature, the animals, the earth have all spoken of your great deeds and strength of arms, swiftness of wit, some of you. And I couldn't be more pleased that you've agreed to help us.
Help how?
Are we the friends?
You are indeed the friends to Lours, and by extension, friends to us here within the circle. I bid you the warmest of welcomes. But yes, my Half-Orc friend, to answer your question, we have begun establishing this new grove in order to recover some territory to the south. As our order has grown in strength, we've needed to expand out. I should probably explain for the uninitiated. Druidic groves function as a source of power for druids. The natural elements, the earth, plants, the trees, all act as a conduit to feed that power out to druids. Lours, you must have noticed any time that you're away from direct contact with nature, you start to feel that slight turn in the stomach, like you've forgotten something or left something behind.
Or drank too much of that boat, Ooch.
Oh yes, I've been informed of the boat hooch. Yes, there were some incidents where was all of it accounted for. I've received some concerning reports from some of the harbour cats that are communicating with us.
What did I actually do with that? I don't remember. Did
I
Bagerac-
liked it.
Well, it's unimportant now. No harm seems to have been done. I shall get right to the point. We have had some trouble in preparations, making the grove ready. As you Lours are probably aware, there is due to be a solar eclipse this afternoon, making this the ideal time to activate the grove with the planet and the sun and the moon in direct alignment. It is the perfect time to funnel power into a new site like this, and we need the assistance of, let's not put too fine a point on it, a powerful druid such as yourself to assist in this. Recently, we've had some unusual behaviour from the local flora and fauna. And he takes a quick look up at the sky. He goes, "Time is getting short. There are a couple of tasks that I need taken care of ahead of the final preparations. Now, thankfully that you're here, I can have you take care of some of them and have some of the circle druids take care of the rest. We have two main tasks. The first is there is a nearby nest of owlbears who have become unusually aggressive, and they've been attacking the grove during the preparations. Best that our trackers have been able to find is that their lair is located off to the north in a small cave deeper in the forest. Basically, we need to preserve the balance here, and their aggression is wholly out of character. They need to be subdued for future protection of the grove and future protection of the wildlife in general. The second task I would ask you to consider is we've established a garden of rest. Naturally, this has not been an easy undertaking, and some of our brethren, their sparks have been extinguished, shall we say. And as per their wishes and the practices of the circle, we have begun constructing a garden of rest so that they can be placed within the earth for nature to reclaim them. Unfortunately, the garden has been somewhat invaded by aggressive plant life. Now, whichever of these you choose to undertake is entirely at your discretion. I will arrange for the circle druids to take care of the task which you choose not to pursue. So I'll leave you to decide, and just let me know once you've agreed amongst yourselves which one you'd rather undertake. He goes back to sort of busying a bunch of reagents and materials in front of the dais in the centre of the circle.
I just turn back to the group and just sort of look for any input from anyone.
Did you say owl bears?
Owl bears.
As in an owl plus a bear?
Yes. They're particularly nasty creatures.
Probably easier to
Imagine
kill
a
them with the holder
bear,
than
but with kind of an owl face and some feathers.
a beak.
Yeah.
But they're the size of a bear. Imagine an owl on all fours.
Does it have wings?
No.
Imagine the trophies I can get from it.
Are they a hoot?
Its head.
I would rather we
get
move
out.
them on peacefully if we could.
You what?
I would also rather not fight them if we can avoid it. For our sake and for theirs.
It's okay, they'll just be scared of me anyway. Look at me, I'm a big tin can.
I can persuade them? Question mark.
They're not the kind of creatures you can persuade, really. You can try.
Oh, I can persuade them, alright. Don't
I think we
you
should go
worry.
and kill some plant life.
I mean,
I'm too big to avoid crushing plants, to be honest.
I can also talk to animals, but
You are an animal.
it's not my fault. They're delicious.
So, what'll it be, guys?
I vote for the garden.
Personally, I would prefer to do the garden. I would like to restore the place of rest.
I am going to follow up with Relaxio on this one.
Yeah, bro.
Sounds like I've already been outvoted from killing the giant owlbear, so I'll just go along with whatever.
It's okay, you could just climb on top of it.
I am a leaf on the wind.
Okay, I turn back to the Archdruid and just say that we are going to go for to go and restore the place of rest.
Wonderful, wonderful. Brothers, he calls over 5 druids from the edge of the circle. He says, "Our honoured guests have chosen to resolve the situation of the Gardens of Rest. Could you please assemble a party and head north to the owlbear's lair and deal with them as best you can. If necessary, then please make sure that their death is swift and painless. But if you could bring me proof that you have successfully moved them on, that would be most appreciative. As to you and your friends, Lours, the same. Please, if you can resolve the situation without too great a call to violence, that would be wonderful. But I understand that needs must as devils drive, and if violence is the only answer, then by all means ensure as best you can that these creatures are put to death swiftly and as painlessly as possible. And again, if you could bring proof of their demise, should that be necessary.
I could distract them with summon lesser demons.
Oh, Warlock. Interesting.
Oh my.
Seems just a little bit nervous about this. Well, if you could avoid unleashing untold hordes of terrifying demons in our forest that we're just now trying to establish, that would be appreciated.
That'd be great.
I'll just sharpen my axe then.
Do you?
Okay, so if you are
Forest
resolved
life, love axes.
set off for the Gardens of Rest, the Archdruid indicates that the gardens are located towards the east of Misty Grove, and it takes you maybe, say, an hour and a half to get there. When you arrive, you find a much thinner covering of trees here. It's almost like a meadow within the forest. And I've just noticed we haven't had any music on this evening. I'll just fix that. Get some atmosphere.
That's really mysterious.
Oh, that's incredibly loud. There we go. So, as I say, it takes about an hour and a half to make your way to the Garden of Rest. And what you find when you arrive is this, as I say, it's a field with a lot of these sort of fairly shallow mounds across the field. All of them have flowers growing over the top of them. And sort of just shambling around between the grave sites are these two fairly large creatures, probably half as tall again as Bagerac. One is this sort of very bulky humanoid shape covered in moss and leaves, and it has these stubby little like twig fingers and these quite sort of stout, almost like vine wrapped legs. And the second one is much taller, much leaner, appears to be more comprised of like vines and roots, and they're sort of just shuffling around between the various mounds. And you notice they stop They bend down and extend their arms, and out of their arms grow these sort of extensions of, I guess, vines into the mound. And they sort of retract, shuffle around, and move to another one and do the exact same thing. And they just keep this constantly, almost like patrol of going around the different mounds and just putting their arms down into it. They don't appear to disturb the earth too much. They just sort of weave their way in and get up and shuffle on.
Gonna nudge Magemak. Burn it! Set fire to it all!
I cannot. I'm sorry.
So, Lord,
Try
what are we doing here?
This is just you guys.
I believe we have to clear out any of the plant life that is encroaching on the grove.
Oh, so do we need to set fire to things? Because I am well averse to this.
I
told you, burn it all.
Pardon?
I prefer we didn't burn everything.
Go and talk to them then or something. Come
on, use your animal stuff.
Actually talk. The trees, I mean.
I'll start walking forward cautiously.
Okay.
Say hello to the tree.
Can you just make me a perception check then, please, Lours?
21.
21. So as you're sort of cautiously making your way past these burial mounds, you notice that the flowers that are covering them are sort of particularly wilted and almost malnourished. And you know from druidic burial practices that when a druid is returned to the earth, their body acts as a very nutrient-rich source, because on top of the just a sort of general decomposition of matter, there is also a lot of druidic energy that's being returned back through the soil. So you find it unusual that the flowers are sort of this bad a condition. Looking around. Also, you are a little bit surprised. There are a lot of graves here. Like, you've seen grave sites before, but this is like the population of a small town going on here. As you sort of move forward, you can see that this sort of meadow continues on for quite a way, and there is a very large number of graves here.
Do they all look druidic? Like
they all appear to have, the same sort of burial care. So you know that when a druid is buried, the grave itself is actually fairly shallow, and a lot of the earth is piled on top. So as the various nutrients can disperse quite quickly through the topsoil and then sink down to the lower levels. But yeah, they all appear to be of the ilk that you would expect for druidic burial practice.
Okay. Other than the fact that there's absolutely loads of them, is there anything else unusual that I can see off in the distance, I guess?
No, other than just the sheer number of them and the condition of the plants growing on them. That's really all you notice.
Me trees.
Are you shouting this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god.
Trees.
As your
Can
voice
you hear me?
trails off into an echo, both of these creatures just stop and turn to face you. Now, they don't really have a head as such, but as they turn around, you get the impression that they are definitely looking at you, or at least in your direction.
So I give a slow, cautious wave. Like, hi. Don't eat me.
They don't appear to respond.
Okay.
Do they look hostile? Or are they just sort of staring at him?
No, they've sort of they've stopped, turned to face where the party's entered into the meadow, and they're just kind of like moving their head in inverted commas, because these are just like this massive plant matter, and they're just sort of swinging their heads back and forth, almost like they're searching for something.
I say in Druidic, what are you doing here? Loud enough for them to hear.
As soon as you start talking, both of them fixate on you and start moving towards you.
Yeah.
Now do they look hostile?
They're just moving towards you.
I don't know where I am in relation to the rest of the group, but I'll sort of take a couple of steps towards them in front of the group.
Okay.
Sneak
So at this point, these things are probably 50, 60 feet away from you.
Okay.
And so you're probably about 10 feet in front of the group, considering you sort of crept forward and then crept back.
Yeah.
So about 60 feet away from Lours and about 70 feet away from the rest of you. And they are slowly moving towards Lours.
Is anything happening like around them? Is there anything happening to the ground as they move? Or are they just walking on?
No, you can see like as they lift their feet up and plant, like the sort of roots that make up their feet kind of sink in a little bit and then retract as the foot comes off. But no, nothing. There's no obvious effect of this happening. They don't appear to care too much about the graves, as they're quite happily just sort of powering on in like a dead line towards you, and they're just walking straight over the grave sites, just crushing the flowers underfoot.
I'm not best pleased about this, but I'm just gonna stand and not try and be threatening to them. I'm just gonna start to stand and wait for them to approach.
Okay. Lacey, do you think these are all actual graves? Should we dig one up?
I'm still sort of doing a hand gesture to the rest of the party to try and stop them.
Do you want me to send Atticus over to them?
I want to see what they do first. They don't seem hostile. That's
I'm going to move to Law's side.
I think you should stay back, brother. Let Lours deal with this. They might find you a bit more hostile, being partly snaky.
He's nature. He'll be fine.
And a warlock.
That too.
Okay, so we'll go through the group and just see what everyone's up to. So if we start with Bagerac. Badger, what are you doing?
He's just gone to get something.
Okay, no worries. James, what are you up to? What's going on?
I was just gonna draw my swords and try and look non-threatening, despite the fact I'm holding well.
Yep, you are a
nonchalantly leaning on your sword.
Just nonchalantly sort of hanging around.
The human-sized bird with the two swords is trying to look non-threatening. Got it.
I would honestly put them away, unless you want them to attack you.
Okay, Lours, you're just sort of holding position with Relaxio. Magemak, what are you doing?
Hanging back, letting Lours do his thing.
Okay, and finally Natasha.
I'm in a huff because they won't talk to me.
Okay, so you feel personally slighted by these creatures.
I've got my hands full of arse, and I'm just like stood in a corner, like a little way off. Not too far away off, but both hands are full of arse because they won't talk to me, and I'm angry.
Okay.
Fucking pricks.
So at this point, Lours and Relaxio, these things are probably about 20, 30 feet in front of you. Bagerac, what are you doing?
Hello, sorry.
It's all right. So everyone's kind of holding position. Natasha is very upset that these creatures are not talking back. What are you
Fucking
doing?
fuming.
These things are probably about, probably about 30 feet away now.
I'm going to check one of the graves and see if they're actual graves.
Okay, just make me an investigation check, please.
That's a 4.
That's a 4.
Where'd the grave go?
I don't know why that's so funny. That's what it was.
Yeah. You sort of dig the tip of one of your javelins into the grave, and without too much disturbance, you manage to unearth a skull. This is either a grave or a very ornate skull storage system that you found.
Yeah.
Do I see him doing this?
No, your attention would be fully on these things
God
moving
damn it.
towards you now.
Just defiling some random druids' graves now.
I'm just
Look
shuffle
what
a bit
I
of dirt back over it with my foot and just stand at the back of the pile.
Yeah.
Okay. So these
With
things...
a little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
So Lours and Relaxio, these things are about 20 feet away from you now. And they are making a beeline directly for you.
Are they looking threatening now, or are they just chilling?
They're... I don't know. How threatening would you feel to have a 10-foot assembly of various plant parts coming at you with its arms outstretched?
I mean, it's fairly threatening, yeah. Like
That's,
little shock of horrors, kind of.
That's what's happened. They're just they're slowly plodding towards you, and their arms have come up and started reaching out towards you. You can see on the end of their hands all these little like vines and roots have started to flicker to life and started just sort of waving in the air towards you.
I was going to point out, are they after us all or just him? And point to Lours.
They don't make any. They don't appear to respond to Bagerac making noise, but they are now.
Why would they respond to Bagerac? They didn't even respond to me, dickheads.
They're now getting very close to Lours and Relaxio.
If Lours, if we said Lours, are they after just you? Try walking that way a bit and see if they follow you.
Oh, they are after me, I think. I'll take a step to the side.
The sort of bulkier, mossy-covered one immediately changes its path to follow you. Its arms the arms go first, and then the rest of the body turns slowly, and it pivots towards you.
All right.
Relaxio,
now, Lours,
the thinner, vinier one is still making its way directly towards you.
Okay.
Now, Lours, put your hands on your hips and bend your knees in time.
Oh no. I haven't taken a step to the right yet.
Do you want to take a step to the right?
I do not, because it's just going to encourage him.
That's fair enough.
Thank you, Natasha.
So these things are now right on top of you.
Okay.
Ooh.
I will. Can I try and cast? I don't know what the intention of this would be, but can I walk up and touch one and cast Druidcraft on it?
To what end?
You can make a flower blossom or bloom, just to see if I can show it in some way that I am, well, show that I am a druid. I don't know if this is going to help at all, but we'll see, I suppose.
Okay. So, as you walk towards the sort of bulky, mossy covered one,
this is how I die.
You place your hand on the surface, and it's immediately this cold, wet, sort of almost sludge-like texture.
Ah, shit.
To it. It feels like you've just put your hand into a load of mud. And as you go to try and start casting Druidcraft, you realise that your hand is slowly moving further and further inside this thing. And the rest of you watch as Lours' entire body is just sucked into this creature. And I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Does that include me, or am I dead?
That includes you.
Time to leave, I think.
Oh dear.
Leave me, I'm as good as dead.
Oh, my rolls this evening are amazing.
Oh, that's not too bad, actually.
I think everyone's is.
Crushed it.
Oh,
So
you absolutely killed that.
let's go through the order then, please. So Bagerac, first of all.
I got 5.
5, excellent. James?
I am unable to roll for some reason.
Press 1.
You spelled initiative wrong. That's why.
Oh, that'll be why. 19.
19, thank you. Lours?
18.
Excellent. Magemak?
4.
4, fantastic. Natasha?
6.
6, and finally Relaxio.
5.
Okay, brilliant. So,
There's nothing.
first thing I'm going to need to happen is, Lours, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh no. Okay.
Yes.
Oh no. That's an 11.
Okay. So, as you're pulled into this creature, you immediately realise that you're not able to breathe.
Unable to what?
Breathe.
Yes, right. Oh,
Breathe, right.
no.
And in your panic, you try to struggle and get out. You feel the pressure of this creature crushing down on you, around you, and you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh shit.
Goddamn.
Okay.
Okay, so we are now into initiative proper. So first up, we have got James. Lours, you're on deck. So James, what would you like to do? You're probably you're about 10 feet back from Relaxio and these two creatures, one of whom has just swallowed Lours.
The one that swallowed Lord. I'm assuming this is much bigger than he and we are, otherwise it wouldn't be able to swallow him. So
correct, yeah. So they're about half as tall again as Bagerac, so they're probably looking at maybe sort of going 8 to 10 foot tall.
8, 9. Okay. So I can probably attack the upper parts of the thing without accidentally going through and stabbing Lours.
You can certainly try.
Oh no.
Well, let's see what happens.
Okay then. Go for
23 to hit.
23 definitely hits.
Okay, and 7 piercing, and I will roll for colossal. And there's an extra 1 damage.
It's 8 damage overall.
Yeah. I will attack same creature again.
Go for it.
22 to hit.
22 hits.
6 damage.
Excellent.
And again.
That'll be it, wouldn't it?
My offhand.
Oh.
Pardon?
Sorry, I forgot you've got 2 weapons. So yep, 6 from your second or your first round.
Yeah, and then 20 from my next one.
20 hits.
Only a 5.
Okay.
So 11, 14 in total. No, 19 in total, sorry.
Okay, no worries. So as you go in, rapier swinging on this one, you manage to start sort of carving just like chunks of leaf matter out. You're being careful not to like do too much direct slashes across the core, just in case you accidentally hit Lours on the inside, who you can hear like muffled complaints from at this point. Complaints being the strongest word I feel like using for someone who's just been swallowed by a giant tree monster. Cool. Anything else on your turn?
No, I'm presuming it doesn't open. It would need to do some sort of concentration, having grappled him. But
it's just all you've seen is it swallowed him, and that you've managed to take a few chunks off, but haven't successfully injured your friend.
No, I don't think there's anything I can do. So
it's fine.
I'm good.
Cool. So, Lours, you're up. Natasha, you're on deck. Lours, what would you like to do?
Can I escape or try to escape, and can I cast?
You can certainly try. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So,
would I be able to transform into my beast shape in here, or is that? I don't know. I was trying to look whether that's like a verbal thing because I don't know if I can speak either.
See, at the moment you can't breathe. You can just because of the pressure of what's crushing down on you as this thing is trying to, I guess, eat you. So it's difficult for you to breathe at this point.
Okay.
You can still make noises, so I would say verbal components of spells still count.
Okay, I will transform into a bear then and try to get out. I'll use bonus action to do bear, and then can I use my action then to try and escape?
That's absolutely fine. Yes, if you can make me a strength check, please.
Hold on.
Strength athletics, if you wish, or
Wait,
whatever.
sorry, yeah. Will that be as the bear?
That would be as a bear, yes. For you are now a
So
bear.
that's a 20 total.
20.
So,
Excellent. So, you managed to utter your various druidic-y bits, and you feel your body shift into form of a bear. As you do, the creature kind of reacts and almost like just vomits you back out, unable to kind of deal with this sudden change in mass that's happened. James, you just about managed to move out of the way as this thing vomits a bear at you.
It's an unusual attack, but
let's see how it goes. Cool.
Yeah.
Bold strategy card.
So,
yeah, that's pretty much all I want to do.
Cool.
Well, actually, can I move?
You can. Yes, you certainly can.
Okay, I'll just sort of move back a bit and turn towards and face it, ready to attack again.
Okay, that's fine. So, at this point, the moss creature is going to take a swipe at James, being the only thing next to it. Let's have a look. James, can you just confirm what your armor class is, please? I don't know if my notes have got it
17.
correctly. 17, thank you. Okay. So, one of the arms just comes crashing down, and you sort of manage to sidestep it. In part, like, still with the momentum of dodging a vomit bear, you manage to avoid the first attack. Second one comes in and manages to hit you. And you just take this glancing blow from this thing on the side. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as this huge arm just BAM! Straight into your chest. Okay, that is the end of its turn. Natasha, you're up. And Bagerac is
What's
on
the
deck.
point? This thing won't hear me anyways. Fucking. I cast Prestidigitation.
Okay. To what effect, please?
Fireworks, baby! I just like shower them in fireworks.
Okay. What, both of them?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay. Let's see if they notice. Describe for me your fireworks, please.
They are rainbows of colour.
Okay. Both of them sort of stop in their tracks a little bit and just take like a half step back.
Yeah, they fucking do.
Anything else?
I cast Healing Word on Lours.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Cool. Where are we? Here we are. And he heals for 7.
Fantastic.
We take
Cool.
those.
Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it.
That's fine. Okay. So next up is we've got the taller, vinier one in front of Relaxio, who goes to just give you a big ol' hug.
Yay!
Relaxio, can you make me either... It's going to try and grapple you, and I'm going to need you to make either a strength athletics or dex acrobatics check to avoid being murder hugged.
Well, yeah. Go for. Is it a check I'm doing, not a save?
It's a check, yes. So either athletics or acrobatics, whichever you want. Failing that, just flat strength or dex check, depending on how you're trying.
16.
16.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Was that
athletics check?
Athletics. This thing's just a little bit too powerful for what you're expecting. So whilst you go to try and sort of block the one arm, what you actually end up doing is kind of rolling into it as it grabs
lovely.
you, and you are just consumed by these vines wrapping their way around you as it sort of brings you into its form.
Nice.
You are now completely blinded, unable to see out of this thing, and similar to what Lours experienced, you're struggling to breathe.
Damn.
That's not a good sign.
So,
The viney bastard.
next up then, Bagerac, Relaxio, you're on deck. Bagerac, what are we doing?
I'm going to rage at these goddamn weeds, grab my axe, and try and hack them down.
Okay, cool. Which one are you going for?
I will go for the mossy looking one.
Okay, cool. Go for it. Roll to attack applies.
Applies.
It's a 22 to hit.
22 hits. Roll some damage, please, dude.
That'd be 14 damage.
That
Bloody
is
ridiculous.
Yep. That's not even his final attack. So, what's this with? Sorry.
Great axe.
Great axe. So yeah, you set to making some damp timber on this thing, and you just take off one of its arms.
Yeah.
This thing is completely nonplussed about the loss of a limb.
Fucking arms. Goddamn weeds.
Cool. Anything else?
I am going to turn around and try and hack off another limb or part of.
Go for it.
That's a 24 to hit.
That hits. Roll some damage,
that's
please.
9 damage.
9. So yeah, this one you managed to like carve a sort of chunk off the top of it. And there's just this
Stupid
squelch
weeds.
as like this clump of moss and dead leaves just goes onto the floor. Anything else?
I will step back from said creature.
That's fine. So next up then we've got Relaxio currently occupying the inside of the viney one. And Magemak, you're on deck. So Relaxio, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm hoping this will work, but I'd like to put my hand, sort of touch the vine with my fingers.
Yep.
And apply frostbite to try and freeze the vine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna allow it.
That's fine. You know what? I'll say because you're actually inside of this thing, don't even roll to hit. Just roll me some damage.
Well, it isn't anyway. It's a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay, cool.
On behalf of the.
So we'll say it automatically hits.
Okay.
Take it at disadvantage because you're inside it, so I haven't really got a chance to shrug it off. What have they got to beat?
14.
14. And you say it's a Constitution save.
14, yeah.
Well, I believe that 7 is less than 14, so that's a failure.
Yay!
Cool. So what happens to them?
So basically, they take. The description says that frost forms on the creature. I can see within range. If it fails a spell, it 2d6 cold damage.
Cool.
And it also has a disadvantage on its next weapon attack.
Cool.
So
if
I only scored a 5.
That's
a
fine.
joint dice roll of 5.
That's fine. So what the rest of you see is this thing has just swallowed up Relaxio and then has kind of slowed down as frost starts to form on the surface of it. Relaxio, anything else on your turn, mate?
I believe that is it for my turn. I don't think I've got. Let me look at my bonus actions. No, there's nothing. Not unless Misty Step would. I'll be able to teleport out. But
is Frostbite a cantrip?
It is a cantrip.
And is it a one-action cantrip?
It is a one-action cantrip.
And is Misty Step a bonus action cast time?
It is a
And
bonus
it's
action.
a spell.
A teleportation spell.
Then you can use it.
So I could use that to teleport out of the vines.
You can indeed.
And to the side of my brother. So I shall do that then. I'm going to cast Misty Step.
Yeah. So all of you see this thing suddenly just kind of like buckle a little bit, and some of the frost like starts to crack on the outside as Relaxio appears directly next to Magemak in a cloud of, I'm going to say green mist, with like some twigs and bits that are just being sort of brushed off of his ever so shiny scale mail.
He was with the.
And that ends my turn, Tom.
Excellent. So Magemak, you've just seen your brother reappear next to you after being eaten by a tree monster. What would you like to do? James, you are on deck.
Mock him for getting eaten.
That'll take up an action.
I'll allow mockery for fuck ups as a free action. So Magemak, what are you doing?
I am gonna bear with.
I'm gonna spend 4 years as a Eldritch Blast.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
I'm
gonna break from the norm.
Oh.
What was that, sorry?
I'm gonna use Toll the Dead.
Oh, interesting.
No.
How
Okay.
come every time someone says they're going to bring Toll the Dead, I just think of Monty Python with "Don't bring out your dead."
Okay, so run me through how that works.
You see within range, and the sound of a Dolores spell fills the air around it for a moment. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missing any of its hit points, it takes 1d12 necrotic instead.
Okay, so which one are you aiming at?
The one that was just eating Relaxio.
Okay, that's fine, and it's a Wisdom save. Which what are they looking to beat? Sorry.
14.
Okay, well 4 is less than 14, so they fail.
That it
and
is.
they are both missing hit points. So please roll me 1d12 of necrotic damage.
It's actually 2d12.
Yeah, or
Oh, is
2d12.
it 2d12? 2d12s, go for it.
I'm just going to do it on the D&D Beyond because I'm on there playing with the dice anyway.
Yeah, I like it, I do.
I got a 10 on one roll and a 3 on the other, so 13 in total.
Cool. Okay, so you see some of the frost starting to melt away as some of the vines and branches just sort of start sloughing off of this creature. It almost looks like someone's just gone up to a tree in autumn and shaken it, and a load of leaves have fallen off. It's that kind of detachment of matter that's just happened on it. Anything else on your turn, Magemak?
Nah, it's alright.
Okay. So, James, you're up. Lours, you're on deck. James, what would you like to do?
I will start by casting Zephyr Strike.
Cool.
It doesn't think I have it. But I'm casting Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
As a bonus, and then I'm going to attack. Yeah.
Yep. Which one are you attacking?
The one that I was attacking previously, the big one that swallowed Lours.
That's fine, yep, go on for it.
21 to hit.
That hits.
And 14 damage in total.
14
my Zephyr
total.
Striking and colossal thingy.
Fantastic, yeah. So that first strike hits true. Cuts a nice old chunk out of this thing, which just lands on the ground with another damp slap.
And I will attack again. And does 14 hit?
14 misses, I'm afraid. This thing's big, but I think you may have tried to follow up on striking the same part that is suddenly no longer attached to this thing. And so your rapier just goes through empty air.
What?
In which case I'm going to move out of attack. Hang on a second. Yeah, I'm going to move out of its range so it can't strike me.
That's absolutely fine, and obviously with Zephyr Strike they can't get an opportunity in. So, next up then, Lours. There's a big old burr.
Yes, I
big
am
old
going
burr.
to.
Natasha, you're on deck.
I am going to bite and claw it in bear form.
Okay.
That's going to taste fucking nasty.
Cool. Roll to hit, please.
Seconds. I can actually roll it. That's a 20 to hit.
20 hits.
With the bite.
Roll some damage, please.
Oh, clicked away from it. Bear with me. It is. That's 8 total for that, and then I'm going to attack again with the claws. That's a good. That's 17.
17 hits. Yeah. Roll some damage.
Oh, sweet. Okay. 2d6. Is. That's not so good. That is a total of 10 slashing damage. So 8 from the bite and then 10 from the claws.
Okay. As you... Basically, you've ripped one of its legs off. So this thing is now a right arm and a left leg, and it's just sort of dragging itself along the floor at this stage. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Okay. So, in retaliation, it's going to try and take a swipe at you. And it just about manages to clip you. Like, it sort of lashes out twice with its good arm. The first one misses, the second one hits home. You take.
Can I cast? Oh,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Cutting words.
I'll allow it. Yes. Yep.
Wonderful. What is my bardic inspiration? So that's 1d8. So 1d8.
What's that do? Sorry.
Cool. 6. So it takes my cutting words takes 6 off the roll that would have landed off the attack roll.
That misses. That straight up misses. Both these attacks. The second one looks like it's going to come home, and then there's.
I shout some.
Sudden scathing remark manages to physically deflect it away from Lours' big.
You look like something that should be on a compost heap.
Big old burr body. That being said, Natasha, you're up.
Sick, cool. I cast Bane level 1.
Okay.
Nice.
So basically, what Bane will do is I'll cast it on both of them because I can cast it up to 3 creatures, and they must make Charisma saving throws.
Okay. Let's find out what the Charisma of Compost is. Surprisingly high.
It has to beat 16.
Even though they rolled really well, I'm not going to lie, these things have a negative Charisma modifier that has screwed both of them over.
Nice.
Hooray!
So they are now both subject to Bane.
Hey.
Cool. So whenever a target that fails the saving throw makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw.
Fantastic. Okay.
And I end my turn.
Excellent. Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
So, Next up, then we have got the larger tendrily one that has just seen its partner kind of goof, but it's noticed it's down on the ground and it's going to wander over and immediately plunge both of its arms into its stationary body. And you can see this is kind of like transfer going on where the sort of tendril creature starts to grow moss along its arms and back, and the sort of larger, mossier one on the ground starts to almost wither and melt down into the ground.
This is such bullshit. Normally Pokemon evolve after a battle.
Okay. That's the end of its turn. Bagerac.
Yeah, it should be if it fucking evolved.
Bagerac, you're up. Relaxio, you're on deck.
So has it still got the tendrils in the floor?
It's still draining energy from the one on the floor.
So can I run up and try and sever said tendrils?
You can certainly try. Roll to hit, please.
I will attack recklessly with my great axe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go.
I'll say
Raging
with
Barbarian
advantage if you
stuff.
don't already have advantage.
Advantage is with recklessly, basically.
That's fine.
That's a 27 to hit.
Is that a nat 20, 27, or is it dirty 27?
No.
It's
No,
19.
It's just brutal. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, that definitely hits.
That's 17 damage.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Right.
What did it do to you?
And then I will go in with my second attack as well.
Will you now?
Yeah.
Hit it. Do you think there's much left?
Oh, God.
Well, I'm guessing, have I severed said tendrils that it was powering up with, or
I'm going
are
to
they
say you've
still there?
certainly severed at least one of the arms.
Yeah, well, I'll take a swing at the other one then.
Cool.
See, but if you cut off its arms and cut off its legs, would it still love you anyway?
Maybe. That's a 27 to hit.
What is this then?
That
And
definitely
that's
hits.
17 damage.
Christ.
Barbs, man.
So 34 damage in total
Frickin'
there.
barbs.
Bagerac the lawnmower.
Yeah,
like
so
weeds.
you've gone in and you've hacked off both of this creature's arms. Can you just make me a Constitution saving throw, please, Bagerac?
D7.
Is that to make sure he hasn't pulled a
That's a
muscle or
23.
something during this?
23. Yeah. You step back and manage to dodge as both of it like sort of reels back from its fallen partner, and both of its arms are just gushing this noxious, like, purple goo that is now just kind of spraying around like someone's left a hose unattended. Yeah,
Ridiculous, mate.
Relaxio, you're up. Magemak, you're on deck. I'm going to assume Bagerac's done, because God knows what would happen if I let him carry on.
I'm just going to step back a bit because the goo.
That's fine. You step back from the goo. Relaxio, you're up. Magemak, you're on deck. Relaxio, what are you doing? Relaxio.
Oh dear, sorry.
It's all right.
I'm gonna nod at the old pointy, the viney man.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit him with Toll of the Dead.
Cool. Go for it.
So he has to do a Wisdom saving throw, and he has to score 14.
Let's have a look. They rolled. They got an 18.
Oh dear.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
They
Get
oddly
fucked.
saved against that.
Well, then with my second action.
Oh
I'm gonna
wait,
set
hang
the
on.
floor-
Sorry, they're still afflicted by Bane. Forgot to take that into account.
Still get 14.
What's the reduction on Bane?
1d4.
1d4.
Still succeeds, Tom. It's 14 minimum.
Yeah. So actually rolled a 4 there. So yeah, they failed.
So
And they're missing hit points, so that is, what, 2d12? If it's the same as Magemak?
yes.
Yep.
Cool, go for it.
Hang on a second.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna have to roll differently because it's I roll 2d12. Nat 1 and a 2.
Nice.
Took 3
Cool.
damage, Tom.
That's fine. It doesn't appear to be enough to like end it, but it certainly like brought it low. It's kind of like, along with the wild arms that have started, they're not so much flailing goo at this point, they're just sort of down by the sides, just leaking it onto the floor, and this thing has fallen onto its knees. Or whatever it costs that passes its knees. Anything else from yourself?
That's it, thanks.
Cool. Okay, Magemak, you're up. James, you're on deck.
I am gonna cast Sacred Flame.
Cool. Let's go with the classic. Remind me, Sacred Flame?
Flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage. The target gains no benefit from cover from the saving throw.
That's fine. What's the saving throw against?
Is 18.
Yep, biffs it.
So flame, blah blah blah. We got a nat 1 and a 4, so 5 damage in total.
Excellent. How do you want to do this?
I want it to. Obviously, it's going to get set on fire, so I just want to see ash on the floor and big flames like a nuclear explosion over the top. Because why not?
Yeah, this thing is just this pillar of golden fire just descends and completely just cooks it. And by the time like the rest of you are able to, how bright it is, by the time it dies down enough for you to kind of be able to look at it, all that is left is this almost calcified tree creature skeleton. The flame is burnt so hot and so quickly that it is just like flash fried, this thing. We are now out of initiative. What would you like to do?
I would like to revert back to my human form and examine the corpses, I guess, whatever these
corpses are set up.
Okay.
The moss ones there, isn't it?
One.
Yeah, so one of them, not so much a corpse, more a sort of obscene scarecrow at this stage. The mossy one, can you just make me a, let's see, make me a nature check, please.
That is a 15.
Fantastic. So this creature's body, you can see, is made of various bits of tree and plant matter that's sort of going on here. There's like grasses and leaves and twigs and mosses all sort of working in. And as you kind of like turn it over, you can see just like growing on the sort of more concealed parts, like under where the arms were, across the chest where it like sort of hunched over, is this like a violet, bright purple like fungus, like, you know, that sort of like stepped stuff, not like a mushroom with a cap, but like where it sort of grows in like discs off of a tree. It's that, but it's growing all the way along, sort of like down both sides of its what would pass for like a rib cage, across the underside of its arms, the top and back of its legs. Just this bright purple mushroom growth that doesn't match anything that you've seen on either the graves or the surrounding area since you've arrived.
Oh, so we should go investigate that bad boy.
Does this look familiar at all to me, or is this completely alien?
You've not seen it before.
I reckon we chop it up and show the big gardening guy, whatever his name was. You know, the guy who got us here.
I actually agree. I think we cut some off. Can I cut some off and store it in a little pouch somewhere to take back to the Archduke?
We do need to take some back so he knows it's gotten wrecked.
Yeah, I'd say that you're able to, given your background with having a tendency to wander off from the group and collect flowers, you are sufficiently proficient in safely collecting what could be dangerous mushroom samples.
Can we burn the rest?
If you have a means of making a fire, then by all means.
We have a warlock.
Fire starting stuff.
I have produce flames, so I'm just going to a bunch of produce flames and hope that it catches.
Okay. It takes you a few attempts to actually get it. This thing is like such a mass of damp plant matter that it really, like, most of the early efforts are really just kind of drying stuff out. Yeah. And you feel that were it not magical fire, this would be a real fucking chore. But with every attempt, the light and the heat is having this really deleterious effect on the fungus, and it is starting to wither and just like dry up and desiccate before even any of the other parts of this creature are starting to even like dry up or even catch fire. And so after about 10 minutes or so of like just hucking fire at this thing, you've eventually got it down to a point where you're fairly confident that you've got at least certainly all of the fungus, but not necessarily the whole creature.
Good.
What was that, sorry?
Sorry, I thought I had it muted and then realised I didn't halfway through the sentence. Sorry.
There we go.
For me.
Okay. Can I see any more of this fungus anywhere else nearby?
You go off and have a little bit of a scout around. What are the rest of you up to whilst Lours is searching for truffles? We'll go with Bagerac first of all.
I've magicked some marshmallows from somewhere, and I'm currently using the corpse to brown my marshmallows.
Fair enough. Bagerac, what are you up to?
I'm just going around the graveyard, and anything that looks like a viney sort of stuff, just hacking at it with my axe.
just in case.
Yeah.
That's fine. Cool. James, what are you up to?
I was going to scout the area a little bit more, see whether I can see more of those plant things.
Okay.
A higher vantage point.
That's fine. Relaxio?
Well, as all the grown-ups are doing like investigating and stuff, I'm gonna go off and practice my bird talk. Talk to some birds.
And finally, Natasha.
I'm gonna get a longer stick. Just like start poking at the trees and just check and see if they'll actually talk to me and whether or not it was just the two rude boys who were ignoring me. So I'm just like,
hey, a less destructive version.
Hey, Mr. Tree. Don't
Natasha,
ignore me.
Can
Yes.
you make me a perception check, please?
Certainly. Uh, 20.
So, in the process of poking some of the trees, you have poked several now, and none have responded. You're about to poke one, and you stop as you see a feminine face in the bark.
Oh!
You then become acutely aware that there is now a spear. Its point directly under your chin.
Ah!
Not so friendly.
And that's where we're going to take a break.
Of course we are. With me in mortal peril.
Of course. Where else?
Of
Where
course.
better? Cool. So we're going to take a break for 10 minutes, and we'll be back shortly.
Cool.
Lovely.
See you in a bit.
And we're back. There we go. So, you've just dealt with the two large plant monsters at the gravesite. Bless you. And Natasha has just been accosted by a feminine figure pointing a spear at them. And Natasha, you see now it's this full female form emerges directly, like melds out of the bark of the tree, holding the spear tip directly under your chin. Lours and James, where you've been scouting around the outside of the sort of meadow space, you are now found on the business end of a couple of sets of spears each from these creatures. Both of you recognise these as dryads. The rest of you are looking around and begin to notice more and more of these figures emerging from the trunks of the trees. Very silent, very graceful, but they are advancing on you carrying a variety of clubs, spears, longbows. They don't say anything. Their bodies are covered in this almost, it looks like armour just made of bark. They just stand completely silent and they're just sort of penning you in with their weapons. A few tense moments pass, and emerging from the tree line is another figure riding a stag made almost entirely of vines. She looks over at you and says quite calmly, "Explain your presence here. Be brief and to the point, or my warriors will be brief in putting their points to you."
Well, you see, we were putting out the things that were doing the things with the graves and the trees and the withering and the dying and the moss and the toxic things.
Brief, I'll grant. Somewhat rambling.
Well, it's kind of what happens when you put a spear under my chin. I get really nervous and I'm starting to get really fucking scared, and now my voice is all changing.
Has the Archdruid sent you?
Yeah, that was him. That was the fella.
You may return to him and inform him that the court mother has still denied his request. And he is not permitted to create another grove here.
Do that a lot better with this spear under my chin.
She raises a hand and the spear comes out from under your chin, but is still trained on you, albeit a few steps back now.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Whew. Little bit of wee came out there. Little bit of wee. Okay.
So, we telling big, druidy, gardening guy no?
You may tell the Archdruid that my answer remains the same as when he first sought me out. The forest is still too weak to support the construction of a new grove. He is to take his followers and he is to leave.
Okay.
Why is it so weak, if you don't mind me asking?
This forest has only recently recovered from a sickness caused by a strange violet fungal infection that spread through the animals, through the plants. Were it not for our intervention, the entire forest would have been lost.
Kind of dark, innit? Like some kind of darkening.
It is only now healing. If the Archdruid continues with his plans, he may well destroy the entire forest. We will not permit it. We will not allow it. You will tell him to leave, or we will force him to leave.
If I could help strengthen the forest by some means, could we both have what we're after? Or could he?
The strain of what the Archdruid is attempting to achieve would surely destroy the forest. Even with the efforts of all of my sisters and I, we would not be able to stop this deterioration.
Forgive me, what is causing this?
Well, as I said, the forest has only recently recovered, and the Archdruid seeks to establish a Druid's Grove. The grove requires a great deal of energy and power before it becomes self-sustaining. The Archdruid knows this. He came to me seeking our permission. I informed him as such. He became angry and demanded our assistance. The Court of the Dryads had no option but to force him to leave and inform him that should he continue, we were forced to take matters further. Frankly, I am shocked that a Druid of his age, knowledge and stature could be so callous in their disregard of the balance of nature.
Do I believe this, first of all?
Insight check.
16?
You can see clear intent in the eyes of this Dryad.
Okay.
You know that Dryads can be sort of capricious and kind of mischievous at times, but when it comes to protecting the forests that they're bound to, they are deadly serious.
Okay.
Like, severe loss of limb serious.
I agree, the Archdruid should know better. I was not aware of this. I feel like he's used us.
He's made you look like a right fool.
Indeed.
Then it seems we understand one another. Leave this place, take the Druids with you, or we shall ensure that you never leave. Do we understand one another?
I just nod quietly to the Dryad. That's enough for me, I think. I don't know about you, rest.
I couldn't care less. I was just helping you out. No.
At least you're honest.
I was here for a good time, not a long time.
So, recognizing that you're in at least a understanding, if not full agreement, the Dryad on the stag raises a hand and waves back towards the forest, turns around, takes off. All of the Dryads sort of hold their weapons and just meld back into the forest. And you're now once again alone in the Garden of Rest.
Okay. I would like to make my way back to the Archdruid.
I would also like to go to the Archdruid and tell him about the spear under my chin, and I'm not going to have that fucking thing happen again.
Say to Natasha, do you want to borrow my javelin so you can prove a point?
I'm inclined to agree this time. I do not like being used for this. But I would like to hear his side of the story.
I'm gonna wander back to the group and say, just to let you know, guys, that the birds have said to be careful.
Sake.
Yeah, I've chatted and they said just be careful, watch out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to head back towards the Archdruid if everyone is. Well, I'm going either way.
Cool. So as you're making your way back through the forest, what sort of glimpses you can catch of the sky? You can see that the eclipse has started. You can see that the just the faintest sliver of the moon is starting to move over the sun now. The forest is suspiciously quiet right now. There's no bird song since you left the meadow. There's no insects chirping away. It's all gone very quiet. Even the wind has completely died down. There doesn't appear to be any sort of rustling in the trees. As you make your way back to the grove, you become aware of this almost like vibrating in the air.
Vibrator?
Vibrating.
Vibrators flying through the air.
Wild vibrator forest. As you get closer to the grove, you can now see that there is a green light emanating from the ritual circle in the centre. And as you enter the clearing again, you can see the Archdruid standing at the centre of the ritual circle, their arms down by their side, palms open, and they're just slowly chanting. And there is a druid on each of the stones set around the perimeter, all mimicking the druid. And you can see that they're all linked to the druid by this sort of beam of green energy. And as you approach, the druid turns to face you and says, "My friends, welcome back. I trust you met with success in your endeavours."
Oh, I was met by something else, all right, let me tell you. Did you know there were tree ladies?
Yes, these.
All right, they had a look.
So.
Do you see that? Do you see that underneath it, right here?
Oh, this is a simple matter to fix.
Is it?
He just sort of flicks his hand closest to you, and this bolt of green energy just shoots out and zaps you under the chin. Can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh no.
Oh.
You decapitated. Die instantly.
Nat 20.
That's funny.
Nice.
So 26.
Nice.
So this bolt hits you under the chin, and you manage to completely regain your footing. And as you just reach your hand up, Natasha, you feel that the skin's completely healed. Like the mark, the little small cut that the spear might have made is completely smooth. New skin. Naturally, he goes, already you can see the power of the grove is rising. Its power to heal, and its power to strengthen. Such power.
But did you have to hit me that hard with that spell?
Well, this is a new grove. Its power is only reaching its peak. The effects can be a little unstable, I'll admit, but certainly worth the effort.
But the tree lady said it wasn't strong enough.
I mean, a certain amount of sacrifice is required. As with all great endeavours.
What sacrifice?
Oh. I mean, my brothers and I have sacrificed much to build this place. I mean, you saw the graves yourself.
Think he's a baddie, you guys.
Does he have a hat that has a skull on it?
No. No, but you do notice that the antlers are slightly more pronounced than they were when you left.
Do they look more like horns than antlers now?
No, still look like antlers. They're just like more impressive.
Bigger.
It's a goddamn druid Gul'dan, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Druid Gul'dan, yeah. I love it.
We are not responsible for any likenesses or images representing other mainstream
coincidental.
franchises.
Of certain MMOs. There are also other MMOs out there.
Ah!
Lours, can you make me a medicine check, please?
Yes. That is a 20 total, not that.
As the Archdruid is discussing this with you, you notice that the druids around the outside are looking particularly pale and somewhat unwell. They're sort of like they're still trying to maintain their position, but like their shoulders are slumped, their knees are bowing a little bit. They're sweating quite a lot.
And is he looking stronger?
Significantly so.
I throw an ice knife at him.
Okay. I'm going to need you all to roll for initiative then, please.
Yeah, buddy.
Shit.
Oh, 14. Let's fucking go.
Oh no! Oh no, it's okay. Oh, I thought that was something else.
Magemak crushing it on the initiative rolls as usual.
As per.
Fully as per. Okay, so
Get out. Get out.
let's just run down the order then. Bagerac?
I got 22.
Nice.
James?
16.
Fantastic. Lours?
8.
Magemak?
Not 1, not 2, but 3.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Natasha?
14.
And finally, Relaxio.
4.
Oh. Sick rolls going on here tonight.
May the dice be with
Mad rolls. Okay, so Lours, you are going in with a
Ice knife, yeah.
surprise ice knife. So if you can roll to hit with that, then please.
That's a nat 20, 28 total.
Excellent. So yep, and then throw up some damage, please.
Okay.
Gone into
Fuck him up.
full on druid rage.
Oh,
How dare you!
Didn't actually say otherwise. So.
I can't believe you've done this.
But it is 9 on the die, and then is it plus anything? Oh, sorry, it's 1d10. Sorry, first. So it's 4 to begin with, and then it needs to make a dexterity saving throw or take an additional 9.
Okay.
And any creature within 5 feet of it, unfortunately, will also take the additional 9 if they fail their save.
Okay, so 2 seconds.
Druid laws going full on. How dare you!
I'm fucking outraged by this. Aim that higher level. That would have been sick actually at level 3. But I didn't.
Okay,
Depends how
so
close the rest of them in the circle are.
Yeah, I didn't actually think about it, but I'm just angry. I don't care.
so to give you an idea of the size and shape of what you're dealing with, the ritual circle itself is about 50 foot across.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
So from where you are on the edge of the circle, you're immediately next to one of the druids because you've approached from basically the east direction. So if you're looking at it on a clock face, you guys are at 3 o'clock. The Archdruid is in dead center, and the 4 druids are arranged, as I say, at compass points. So 12, 3, 6, and 9.
Okay.
Lours, you've sort of stepped to the front of the group to throw the ice knife. And sorry, how much damage did it do?
If he fails his dex save, it will do an additional 9, but it's 4 just piercing damage to begin with.
Okay. So you see the ice knife whistling through the air, and it stabs him directly in the cheek.
Oh,
nice. Oh, it actually will be doubled for the 4 when it's will be 8 total.
Oh, yep.
So I forgot it was a crit. Apologies.
And then Dex save as it detonates.
Yeah.
What are they looking to beat?
I assume 16, yeah.
16. So yeah, they failed on that.
I'm assuming it doesn't double that damage, does it, or does it? Because it is a rolled number, but I don't actually know how that works.
2 6. Let me have a look. On a hit, target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage. So, failed on the dex saving throw. So the ice is jabbed into the cheek. It's detonated. So it's taken the initial piercing damage of being stabbed with a knife made of ice. It's then blown up. So if you can roll me 2d6 cold damage, please.
That's 9. Unless it's doubled, in which case it's 18. I don't know. Your opinion, I don't actually know how that works.
I'd say the crit would be to actually hit. Like the knife was going to explode anyway, so the cold damage would be fairly consistent. But the actual the force and the outrage with which you've thrown it, I'd say would double up the initial piercing.
Okay. So yeah, it's 8 piercing total and then 9 for the explosion.
Cool.
So 13 total.
So yeah. So it's exploding. There's just shards of ice now, scattering down the side of the Archdruid. So we are now falling into initiative order proper. Where are we? Let's get some battle music on the go. Avery appears to have stopped responding.
Indeed.
Okay, so first up then is Bagerac.
All right.
You're up. What would you like to do?
This one druid in front of us.
Yes.
I would like to grab them and throw them at one of the other druids on the edge of the circle.
Oh dear God.
Okay, that's fine. If you just make me a strength check, please.
20.
This is just to see whether or not you can lift up the druid. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You're able to haul them off the stone. As you do, you see that there are a load of vines that have crept up around their legs. And as you pull them free, it just tears the vines free from the ground.
Yes.
And are you throwing them at one of the other?
Yeah. Yes, I'm trying to knock them out the circle, basically.
Okay, that's fine. Let's call this strength athletics check.
That's a 26.
Yeah. That definitely hits. I'll say with that you were able to completely knock. So you've ripped up the druid at the again, I'm just going to use clock faces just to keep it easy in your head. You've ripped up the druid at the 3 o'clock position and yeeted them at the druid at the 12 o'clock position, and now both of them are lying on their asses in the dirt just outside of the circle.
Yeah, but they're not in the circle.
Sure, there's a belt you can get for that badge.
What, for hurling druids?
Yeah.
The hurling druid belt?
Belt of yeeted lesser servitor.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
No, that'll be it.
It's fine. Okay, so James, you're up. Natasha, you're on deck.
When they knock the druids over, does the guy look like he's losing strength? Is he getting smaller, or?
So he's just taken an ice knife to the side of the face. There doesn't appear to have been any real change other than a massive gouge in his cheek where the ice knife has exploded.
Okay, and are there 2 druids left now, other than the
There are
main one?
yeah. So you got the druid at basically the 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock position. It's the south and the west druid.
Okay. Which one's closest to me again?
It would be the it'd be the south position druid.
Go for him. Rapier, 20 to hit.
Okay. Can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Sure. I mean, I would if I could spell dexterity properly.
25. Okay. So as you rush to try and tackle the southern druid, you see Taviel raise a hand, and this sudden gust of wind surges forward and just misses you.
Okay.
So what are you doing to the druid?
I was just going to attack him with my rapiers.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so that hits. Roll me some damage, please.
6.
Yeah, they're dead.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
So as you stab your rapier into them, they like just completely fold over you drive it so far through, they're just like their chest cavity just folds over the hilt.
So I push them away, and the Birdman stabs them. Okay.
Well, we don't know the condition of the two that you managed to like bowl into one another. We'll come back to them. Don't worry.
As above, so below.
Yeah. So as the druid just buckles, you see the vines start to just creep up and almost like encase the entire body.
Okay, I jump to the next one with my next attack.
Yep.
I rolled a 1, so that misses.
Yep.
For my bonus now, 16 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And 7 damage piercing.
Yeah, they are also in the same condition. So they've now completely perished.
Okay. I'll jump into the air and try and fly away as much as my remaining movements allow.
Okay, that's fine. You are now considered airborne. Excellent. So, Natasha, you're up. Lours, you're on deck.
Hello. Is there anyone behind? Is there one of the druids behind the big nasty archdruid?
So, with the exception of James, the rest of you are on the eastern side of the ritual circle. There are 2 druids of undetermined condition on the northern point, and James is airborne over towards the western side.
Okay.
Right, basically, we've knocked all the druids out the circle or killed them.
Okay. But apart from the archdruid, where's the archdruid?
Who's in the middle?
Who's in the middle?
Archdruid dead center.
Okay. I cast fear on the archdruid.
Okay. Remind me.
I project a phantasmal image of a creature's worst fears. It has a wisdom saving throw of 16.
Okay. So as you conjure this image and project it towards the archdruid, already sort of like reeling from the ice knife to the side of the face, he just turns and stares directly at you. Says, "You think your petty magic can defeat an archdruid in his grove?" Anything else?
I flipped the finger at the archdruid for calling my magic petty.
Yeah. I'll allow it as a free action.
Wonderful. Well, it's a bonus action. I'll take it as a bonus action.
You're taking it as bonus action. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
That's fine then. So, Lours, you're up. Relaxio, you're on deck.
So I am just gonna cast. Yeah, you know what? 3rd level moonbeam on him.
Cool.
He needs to make a Constitution saving throw DC 16, and he will take 3d10 radiant on a fail or half as much on a successful.
What was the save?
DC 16 con.
They pass.
Balls.
So the moonbeam comes down, and the entire body is just bathed in moonlight. And
if he's a shape changer, sorry, he makes that with disadvantage, but I don't know if he is or not. So I should have thought that.
so as the moonbeam comes down, you can see this energy is just burning him up. You can see it like sort of sparking off. It's reacting with the green energy surging around his palms, and you can see his like sort of copper flesh is starting to peel and crack.
Okay.
But they're still standing there. They're actual, like, whilst they are physically being damaged, their posture hasn't changed, save to smack talk Natasha.
It does only 6 damage because he passed.
Cool. That's fine.
Sadly.
Anything else from yourself?
Nope.
Okay. Relaxio.
Yo.
You're up.
So I'm going to walk till I'm within 10 feet of the Archdruid, sorry, not
Yep.
Bishop. And I'm going to poison spray.
Okay.
So he needs to do a Constitution saving throw of 14.
They
Anyone
fail.
that steps into the beam, by the way, will take damage.
So he will take 4 damage. My damage is off the charts today.
So, remind me how you're casting your poison spray.
So basically, I have to extend my hand out,
Mhm.
and a cloud or a poof of noxious gas from my palm straight into his face.
Okay. So this like,
And there was me thinking it was just all the toxic shit language you've learned on from playing League of Legends this week.
Yep.
so it's just this
toxic.
rapid, just
Team member.
rush of like
I wanna
poison
say
gas.
green.
Just this green gas just shoots out from your hand and catches him directly in the face, and without even flinching, he just takes a deep breath and inhales all of it. And then just breathes out almost languidly and smiles.
Oh shit.
I don't
Hey.
like
That's
this.
ass as well. So
Well, that's-
Anything else from yourself?
If I'm able to, I'll probably move another 10 foot away, but I don't know if I can make any more movement.
That's fine. So you're at this point, you're basically now standing on top of the stone on the eastern point.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So, Magemak, you're up. Bagerac, you're on deck.
I might just trump. That's... He's not close to me at the moment, is he? So
No, you're probably about 25 feet away. Probably closer to 30.
if anyone moves into the moonbeam, by the way, you take the damage.
I will go crazy and fight Eldritch Blast.
Hey, cool.
Hey,
Roll
the
to hit,
default,
please.
the big easy.
Who's a big easy?
I don't know, Eldritch Blast.
11 to hit.
11 misses.
Okay, fine.
That's your first one. Do you want to try again with the second?
Yeah. Probably should just have this on as a copy paste. 14.
14 also misses.
Okay, see ya.
This motherfucker.
So you're finding it hard to kind of draw a bead properly inside of the moonbeam. And whilst both of your Eldritch Blast Beams just pass through, they just go straight through and out the other side. James just about manages to dodge out the way of them.
Well, clown shouldn't have been in the way.
Anything else on your turn?
No, I'm gonna pass that.
Okay.
Sit down.
So, top of the round. I'm going to need everyone except for James to make me a strength saving throw, please.
Oh, shit.
19.
Woo! 21. And that's a 19, it's not a nat 20.
18, 21. 13 for Magemak, 10 for Bagerac. Relaxio?
11, my friend.
11. Okay. So, with the exception of Lours and Natasha, who managed to spot what's happening, the rest of you are suddenly grasped by a whole load of roots and vines coming out of the ground. The whole area around you is just suddenly this writhing mass of tendrils. Like I say, with the exception of Lours and Natasha, the remaining three of you are now restrained.
That's okay. I was sitting down anyway.
Okay. So, Bagerac, your turn. What would you like to do?
Take it. I can't do anything other than try and break free.
You can try to break free, yep.
I thought there was a song on here.
Well, I take it I can't like throw a weapon or anything. I'm completely restrained.
You're just restrained. You literally, it's just got your feet, your arms, and everything from your like your shins upwards is still free.
No, I'm just still going to try and break free from the vines.
Cool. It's going to be another strength check, please.
7. I'm doing so well.
7. These things are holding fast.
Well, I can't do anything else because that was me.
Okay.
Eat more druids at him.
So, Lours, while you're focusing this moonbeam on the druid, you see that their position has changed. They have now closed their hands, and they seem to be struggling as if the weight of the moonbeam is actually like compressing them down. And you watch as their skin is just being like, it's coming off in like plates now. Like whole chunks of his skin are coming away.
Oh,
but at
nice.
the same time, his hair is growing longer. The antlers are growing out and becoming more sort of gnarled and twisted. Where the ice knife has shattered their face, you can see like the teeth and jawbone inside are like pushing forward and jutting out from the mouth.
Oh, shit.
And you watch
That's
as
not a good sign.
the limbs stretch out. You can hear this like snapping and creaking of bones. The hands become elongated and skeletal. And over the course of maybe a few seconds, you see this hideous transformation as the Archdruid becomes this huge, bestial, stag-like form. It's still got like humanoid hands and feet, but it's this long protruding nose. This entire body is covered with this long sort of shaggy matted hair, the same colour as their own. And where the limbs have stretched out to rebuild into this new form, you can now see that the skin is starting to grow back over and stitch together, but there is just nothing more than that. It's just skin stretched across this skeletal frame. And with that, they are going to turn towards you. And I'm going to need everyone with the exception of James. Actually, no, I'm going to need everyone, including James, to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Fuck.
Oh, my best stats.
This.
Oh, God.
You are
20!
You are suddenly struck by just how hideous the transformation is that you've seen, and you're just kind of reeling from the horror of it.
I'm glad I actually rolled well on that.
I'm glad I rolled a 20, yeah.
So, Natasha, you rolled a 20?
I sure did, baby.
Yeah, apparently you've seen worse.
I sure have.
You are completely fine with what you're seeing here.
I've had to see a Birdman with fucking 2 swords trying to be non-threatening. That's like one of the most horrifying things I think I've ever seen.
Cool. Bagerac, what did you get?
18.
18. You two are fine.
I'm used to,
you're used
you know,
to
mutilating things.
you're used to horrible things. James?
18.
18. Also fine. Yeah, you're totally cool with what you've just witnessed, or you just don't understand it enough to realise what the scale of what you're dealing with is now. Lours?
That would be a 10.
That would be a 10. You are completely thrown by this. You are now frightened, which means you have a disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, whilst the source of your fear is within line of sight, and you cannot willingly move closer to it.
Okay.
Magemak?
Don't want to talk about it.
How bad are we talking?
I got a 5.
Okay. Same as Lours, you just cannot comprehend what you're seeing here. With you, it's not so much fear, it's just like a processing error. You assume there's something wrong with your vision, so you can't really look at it. You have to kind of move away to deal with whatever's going on there. And finally, Relaxio.
17.
17. Yeah, you're cool with this.
Yeah, man.
You're not even a little bit phased.
He's gone to bed with scarier things as a Relaxio.
Yes.
Okay. So it's just Lours and Magemak.
Would that break my concentration?
Potentially.
Roll through
I'd
it.
say so. Yeah. This is just disturbing enough to trigger that.
I imagine I get disadvantage on ability checks, don't I?
Yes,
which I think
you do.
Concentration. I don't know. Or do you just break it?
You can roll for it if you want.
Uh,
Constitution save with Constitution check with disadvantage.
Check or save? Sorry.
Check. Sorry.
Okay, that's a 16 and a 20, so 16.
16.
Wow, that's actually good.
Yeah, you are just about able to hold on there.
Cool. Okay.
Like you don't want to get any closer, and you're kind of glad that you've got like a space laser going on. Cool. So it's then going to take a swipe at James because it's managed to grow tall enough to try and swipe you out of the air.
Cool. I cast Cutting Words.
Okay. Cool. Roll for Cutting Words, please.
Did that not work? Oh, can I re-roll that?
What's the? Sorry, I'm not looking at.
It's a nat 1. It's a nat 1.
On what dice?
D8.
D8. No, because the. Are you thinking lucky?
Yes.
Yeah, so that only applies to like basically
on
D20 rolls.
D20. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. 1 then.
1.
Nice.
Yeah. That misses.
Sweet.
Nice.
So does the second wild swipe.
God, when I first heard about wild stallions, I didn't expect it to be like this.
And that's going to be it for the hideous monster druid. So, I'm losing track of my notes here. Okay, James, you're up. Natasha, you're on deck.
Is Moonbeam still a problem?
Moonbeam is still active.
Okay, in which case I'm going to an attack with longbow.
Yep.
Going to still go for Zephyr Strike though.
Yep.
Bonus action. I will put my advantage on that because it was a bad roll, so I will try that again. 21 to hit.
21 hits.
And and that is sorry, I'm being a bit slow. 16 damage.
Cool. So longbow sails through and just lands itself, clearing the flank of this thing.
Yeah. I attacked again, but I got a 10, which I presume a miss.
Unfortunately, yes. Yep, goes wide. Moonbeam being a bit of a distracting cat toy of a thing.
Yeah, it might be.
Okay, so Natasha, you're up. Lours, you're on
Hi.
deck.
Cool. I shout out the magical words, Tree Lady!
To what effect?
I want to summon the Tree Lady again.
You want to summon the Tree Lady?
Yeah. The Court Mother.
Oh, what's this going to be? Maybe a nature check.
Nature? Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay.
What do you mean, for fuck's sake? You're proficient in fucking everything.
21.
Outrageous.
Proceed.
You hear a voice.
Yes.
From the side of you. As the Court Mother appears on the back of her Vine Stag construct, saying, "You called me."
I just point. I said, we tried.
Oh shit.
We tried, honestly. We actually tried. Please don't put the spear under my chin again.
Any bonus actions or movements?
I just kind of plea with the Tree Lady and say, please help us, please help us. Oh my gosh, please help us.
Okay. That's fine. Yep. So you now have the assistance of the Court Mother. Lours, you're up.
I hope that's in your notes.
This did not appear in my notes.
I'm going to move the Moonbeam very slightly back so anyone that wants to get into melee can do. So it's still hitting him, but giving some range at the front of it.
Okay, so you're moving it... Oh, so just to
away
clarify,
from
you're at the 3 o'clock position, they're dead centre, you're moving it towards the 9 o'clock position.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
fine, okay.
Very slightly, just in case anyone needs
That's
to
fine.
get...
James, you do see this moving towards you. It doesn't hit you, you just see it moving towards you, so you are aware of what's going on.
Okay.
And yeah, just do the damage again. He Constitution saving throw again, if he's still in it, which...
Yep, they are. And so it's a con save.
Yes, sorry, yeah, DC 16.
They pass.
God damn it. In that case, he takes 9 damage total.
Excellent. So you
That's
see
it.
it's still burning away there. It's starting to damage the sort of quote true flesh on this thing now. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Cool. Right. Relaxio, you're up. Magemak, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm gonna hit him. Well, attempt to hit him with frostbite again.
That's fine.
As I'm rooted, whether I touch the roots themselves and do it, or directly blast it, I am really bothered. Whatever the best effective weapon.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to go for the roots, or do you want to go for the Archdruid?
I'm not too worried about moving at the minute, so I'll go for the druid.
Okay, cool. So yeah, frostbite. Remind me what they need to do.
It's a Constitution saving throw of 14.
They pass.
Okay, well, the son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
The only thing I'm going to do is put a Hexblade Curse on him.
Okay, cool.
So once per short rest, as a bonus action, choose one creature you see within 30 foot, who I can curse for 1 minute. Against the cursed target, you gain an additional +3 bonus damage rolls.
Okay.
Also, I critical hit on a 19 or 20 against that particular target. Shorted.
Sweet. Okay, that's fine. So yep, they are now currently carrying the Hexblade Curse. Anything else from yourselves?
That's it.
That's the end of it. Okay. So, Magemak, you're up. Bagerac, you're on deck.
Let's go. Summon lesser demons.
Okay.
Oh dear. We're gonna die. It's gonna become Bulgar. Tough. Rock up now.
Cool. Can you roll me a d6, please?
Oh, I certainly can.
Five. Thank you. He said, hurriedly grabbing the monster manual before no one saw.
So what?
You summon a swarm of 8 duo drones. So these are the Modrons that kind of look like 2 boxes stacked one on top of the other. Like a face on the top one. Some of them are carrying javelins. Some of them are just sort of wandering in with a sort of put 'em up kind of boxing stance. So they are now under your control.
Yeah, boy.
Any bonus actions?
No, I can't go anywhere, can I? Because I'm like rooted, aren't I?
Correct.
Actually, can I do? So I could do remove curse. I think at your touch, all curses affecting one crit. No, it's not a curse. We're keeping someone awake. So I will. Where's my Healy spell gone? Healing Light.
Yep.
I shall use that on. I assume James has taken the most damage, hasn't he?
Does that mean he deserves it the most? That's the question.
took 12 from that plant thing. Sure what everyone else is on.
I'm right.
So you're casting it on Magemak?
Yeah, I'll just cast it on James.
Cool. Are you doing 1d6 or 2d6?
Do 2d6.
Go for it.
Oh, bloody hell. 8
Oh,
in
cool.
total.
Okay. You recover 8 hit points. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So, top of the round, Bagerac, you're up first. The roots around your feet suddenly sink back into the ground. So those of you standing on the eastern side are now free to move. James, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please? Nine. You are surrounded by a billowing fog and suddenly can't understand why all of your friends are attacking the Archdruid when he's trying to just, like, do something good. You are now charmed.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Bagerac, you're up. What are you doing?
Can I see this fog area around James?
You can, yes.
Is it like a big area around him, or?
It's like he's just been vaping really hard.
Alright, fair enough then. In that case, I shall grab my great axe and charge the druid guy.
Go for it. Roll to hit, please.
I will, of course, rage at this thought because I was so pissed off I couldn't move.
Of course.
Oh, pick that off on here somewhere. Too many screens open. And I will attack this idiot recklessly.
Excellent.
Why not?
Go for it. What we got?
24 to hit.
24 hits. Roll some damage.
That would be 15.
15. Jesus.
I thought you said 50.
So Great Axe comes swinging in, and you take a decent chunk out the back of their calf there.
Now turn and take a second swing.
Yep.
Lay into him.
Which is 23 to hit.
Also hits.
Well, 24 actually. And that's 17 damage.
Excellent. So again, another decent strike, and you just hear he just roars at this point. Speech is now beyond him.
Oh dear.
Anything else from yourself?
Just take a step back.
Okay, that's fine. So, as they screech out, those of you who saved against being frightened are okay for this. Magemak and Lours, I need you to make another wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Oh, gee, Willie Whiskers.
15.
Okay. So, Magemak, you've kind of returned to your senses and you're just like, oh, I see. This is some sort of monster. Lours, this roar has, like, gripped some primal fear deep in you. Magemak, you're no longer frightened. Lours, you remain frightened.
Okay.
With that, they are then going to take a step towards Bagerac, and they're going to try and sink their teeth in.
I cast cutting words.
Cool.
If it starts its turn in the moonbeam, it takes damage, by the way.
Okay, is that another save throw, or?
It is, yeah. It needs to make a save if it starts its turn now.
Okay, so that was a nat 20 save.
Wow.
Well, shit.
Let's see.
All right, cool. So that's an 8.
So if you can give me whatever the depreciated moonbeam damage is, please, first of all.
8.
Okay.
What's this thing last for? Saved every goddamn time, the prick.
So just managed to step out of the moonbeam now, and as they leave it, you can just see it's like scored down their backs. It's like burning their hair along the ridge of the spine. So they're trying to take a bite out of Bagerac. Natasha, you said you rolled an 8 for your cutting words.
Cutting words, yes.
Bagerac, what's your armor class?
Well, as I'm using the great axe, it'll be 17.
Okay. Even with cutting words, they still hit.
Ooh, okay.
Where's my big dice? There we go. Okay, so Bagerac, you take 17 points of piercing damage.
How much, sorry?
17.
14. Oh, so what's half of that? That's
17, so it'd be 8.
Yeah.
And an additional 10 points of poison damage.
Which I'm guessing will be 5 then.
Yes.
Bastard.
That would have been nasty if you took that full damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's then going to try and step past Bagerac.
Oh no.
Can I take an attack of opportunity?
You can indeed.
Bring it, the bastard!
Break
Here
its
we are.
legs.
Turn its legs into Kindle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I missed that one. That's a 9 to hit. Well, 10, sorry.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that misses. Relaxio. It's going to take a swipe at you with his big old claws.
Cool. I cast some more cutting words.
Cool. Roll me some cutting words, please.
Of course. Good sir. Good sir. It's a 2. Fuck.
Yep, unfortunately that still hits. Relaxio. You take 14 points of slashing damage. And then with one final step past Relaxio,
who's obviously not there.
Sorry, dude. Hellish Rebuke. I'm going to cast that.
okay,
One.
that's
Fuck him
fair.
up.
So it's a dex save and throw of 14.
Okay. Oh no, they whiffed that.
I'm glad to hear that because he's now going to take.
Sure.
Come on. No. 19 points of damage.
Oof.
That was actually really bad rolls as well. That's 19 out of 40. Potential 40 damage.
It's not too
Damn.
bad.
So the green flames leap from your body as the claw strike comes down and just singes its hand as it continues to step past you towards Lours, where it's going to make its final strike.
God damn.
Lours, you. Should have gone to see an understation board pie. There we go. A little bit off its game on that one. Lours, you take 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And that, fortunately, is the end of its turn. It is now in the midst of the lot of you.
Make a thingy concentration check, don't I? Actually.
Yes, because you're taking damage.
That is a 21.
21, so Moonbeam is still up.
But it's not on him anymore, so...
It's not on him, but it's still there.
I can move it back.
Okay, so James, you're up. Natasha, you're on deck. James, what would you like to do?
Did you just say Moonbeam's still about?
Yes, yeah. Moonbeam's still about, and you are still charmed.
Can I break the charm?
No.
Can't get uncharmed.
No, why would you? You'd like totally chill with this thing.
Cool.
You live it.
In which case, I would like to. God, I don't know. Try and persuade everyone to leave the guy alone. He's pretty cool. Everyone's problem with him is.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Don't know what else to do.
So basically, while you're charmed, you just can't take any hostile actions towards the creature you are charmed towards.
15.
What was that, sorry?
15.
15. Yeah, you make a pretty strong case that they should just leave him alone.
Problem.
Yeah, we'll really take it on board, mate.
All right, I'm going back to the hotel, guys.
Okay. So, next up then, we've got Natasha and the Court Mother.
Wicked. Right. What can we do with this Court Mother? Don't suppose you've got, other tree ladies who could, rally up and stampede this vile beast out of your grove?
No, I would not be
Hypothetically
willing to
speaking.
risk any of my sisters in battle here.
Okay. So would you aid me in taking this thing down, at least?
Oh, by all means. And you can see that she is carrying a... she's still like on top of this vine stag.
Mm-hmm.
And she's already like notching an arrow into a long bow. And strapped across her back is this staff made entirely of vines.
Oh my. That's great. By all means, have the first swipe.
Why, thank you. She is going to cast Entangle. She fires an arrow directly at the feet of the Archdruid. And a load of roots just start to shoot up and start to wrap around their legs. Yeah, he's restrained.
Okay, cool. Does she have anything else up her sleeve right now?
Not that would count as an action.
Cool. So it's my turn now, is it? Or was that my turn? No, cool. I get a turn.
We're going to treat you giving the Court Mother instruction as a bonus action.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I am going to try... What am I going to try? I know what I'm going to try. I am going to try Bane, please.
Cool.
Which is Charisma 16.
That's a nat 1.
Wicked, cool.
That's
so he must
fail.
roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throws while I have this spell on him. And I end my turn.
Fantastic. Okay. So, Lours, you're up. Relaxio, you're on deck. Lours, you are still frightened. What would you like to do?
Fling.
I assume I can't break the frightened?
You are still basically in base combat with this thing because it's moved up to you.
Okay.
So not only are you terrified, it's now bearing down on you.
Hooray. Can I move the moonbeam in such a way that it will hit it but no one else?
So it would basically have to pass through Bagerac to hit. Actually, how far can you move Moonbeam?
I can move it 60 feet in any direction.
Yeah, I'd say that there's enough movement on there that you can just swerve it round Bagerac.
Sweet.
I was going to just go with just move it.
If I can move it in such a way it doesn't hit him, then I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll just move it through him because I just want to hit him with it.
Okay, that's fine. So Moonbeam is now once again focused on the Archdruid. What's that? Is it saving?
Con save 16 again.
Save.
Oh, that's garbage.
Nope, they biffed it.
9. I rolled appallingly on that. 9 radiant damage.
That's fine. So as the Moonbeam like swerves round Bagerac, just like initial drifting round and smacking into the side of this guy whilst he's held in place by the vines, it just burned. You can see it continues burning up on their skin. General condition of this guy, he is pretty bloodied up at this point. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Okay. Relaxio, you're up. Magemak, you're on deck.
I'm gonna aim for the old trusty.
Yeah.
Go back to the Fang.
Yeah. Cool.
I believe that I am stood behind him. He's passed me.
You are at this point, yes.
So I'm going to roll for a hit. Here we go. So 20.
20 hits.
Good to hear, because I'm now going to roll for damage.
Go for it.
7.
Okay. Fantastic. So the sickle carves this like green arc through the air as you sort of try and slash at the underside of the Archdruid from behind. We're talking like a perineum piercing here.
Every little helps.
That's it. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to follow it with my my packed weapon, I believe.
Go for it. Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry, he's got the curse on him, hasn't he?
He's got Hexblade's curse. Yeah.
Oh, so it's another 3. So it's 10. Sorry, he should have done 10 damage. Tom.
Okay, cool. No worries. I will amend that by injuring him some more. There we go. Additional injuries have been added.
Now I'm going to do the dagger.
Cool. Go for it.
And to hit was a 13.
That misses, unfortunately.
Well, then I'd just spin around, fall over.
Fine.
Done.
Yep. Cool. That'll do nicely.
Great.
So, next up, Magemak and your 8 robots.
Yes.
For simplicity's sake, we will treat you giving a single command to them as a squad, and I will roll 1 time for them to do stuff. So, giving a command to your squad is a bonus action, the same way that Natasha giving commands to the Court Mother is. So it's an additional free bonus action you get on top of your normal action movement bonus action.
I just want them to attack.
Cool, that's fine. Let's see. Thank goodness that Avery is here, so I can get it to just roll 8 d20s. Yeah, they all run up, and they are adorable in how much they are pummeling on this guy, but not one of them is breaking through their skin.
That's fine. They're doing something.
But they are all now swarming in and around the vines, wrapping up its legs, and just they're like in time with one another, just punching this thing in the legs.
Synchronized fluffing.
Yeah, pretty much. As for yourself, what would you like to do? Oh, I brought this evil on myself.
Oh, yes, you did. I am going to cast Toll of the Dead.
Cool. So
I don't want to do this game.
Cool. So it's a wisdom save. Let's. Oh shit. So they. I'm fairly certain they've biffed it. Yeah, they've biffed it. They failed, and is missing hit points. So it's that sweet D12 damage, please.
Okie dokie. 2d12 in it.
Yep.
Uh, 14.
Fantastic. So yeah, they clutch their head as this bell that only they can hear is just rattling around, and you can see now that there is blood pouring out of their eyes and ears.
Oh yes, that's what we like to see.
Anything else from yourself?
No, that's me done. I think me and my millions are done.
You and your 1,000 robot bastard army.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So, I think we're back to the top of the round again. Yes, we are. I am going to need James to suddenly shake his head in disbelief that he thought that this dude was cool and on the level, and he feels a little bit embarrassed about the speech he made, but he is no longer charmed.
Okay.
Bagerac, you're up, and
Finish it.
James is on deck. Yeah, this guy is looking pretty beat up at this point.
I am going to go behind him or wherever the moonbeam isn't. And
at this point, the moonbeam is basically this dude is large enough that the moonbeam is just affecting him and potentially any tiny robots that may be running around under his feet.
Okay, I'm gonna go up and take a swing at him recklessly with my great axe.
Go for it.
Don't you be hurting my little robots.
That's a 27 to hit.
That definitely hits. Roll some damage.
Here comes
That's 10.
10 damage.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Take
yeah,
a
the reckless
second
attack
swing.
swings in and just shatters. At this point, you're fairly certain you've broken a knee.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to come back and take a second swing, see if we can check out, something else.
Cool.
That's a 26 to hit.
That hits. Roll some damage.
Oh, shit damage. 6 damage.
That's fine, but they are now... Yeah, you've broken both their knees. But due to the awkward position in which the vines are now catching them, that coupled with the moonbeam and the army of almost a dozen tiny robots, it's making it very difficult for them to comfortably fall over in pain. So they're at this kind of awkward angle where their knees don't work.
I'm up to left, my knees don't work, and it's hard to fall over.
Anything else?
No.
Nope. Chat says break his legs.
I already did.
They're already broken.
Let me fetch my hobbling post.
At this point, the Archdruid, in their fury, is going to try and bite down on Bagerac. They are still afflicted by Bane. So that means...
Because I attack recklessly, they get advantage on me, though.
I cast Cutting Words.
Okay, hold on then. So, they attack with advantage. But also suffer from Bane.
Yeah.
And
so
Cutting Words reduces by...
Let's find out. Six. Six.
Hold on, I'm trying to do a lot of maths at once.
Wouldn't my Bane just cancel out the advantage, so he'd just get normal attack without any advantage or disadvantage?
Nah, you don't get disadvantage from Bane.
25.
You know
what did?
It's just a 1d.
What did Cutting Words do?
6.
Let's see. God damn, it's exactly missed.
Yes.
Through all of that, That comes out at an 18.
Yes.
God damn. All right, they're just going to try and slap Bagerac twice, just for the insolence of it.
It's all right. You only have to take off the 1d4 this time.
Both of those hit.
Oh.
Okay.
And that's going to be 26 slashing damage in total.
So 13.
Yes.
Okay.
Lours, seeing this thing brought so low, you're suddenly able to shake off the fear effect. James, you're up. Natasha, you're on deck.
I hear that I can now dive in with.
You hear correctly, sir.
Right. Yes, I will attack with my rapier.
Cool.
22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And 21 damage.
Jesus. Yeah, they are really suffering now. Their legs are broken. There's a really insolent half-orc trying to break their legs. There's an army of tiny robots underneath them. There's vines going on.
If it started its turn, by the way, it takes moonbeam damage as well.
Thank you. Hold on. Was it fucking save something? Fail. Fail on that save.
23 then.
Takes 23 points of moonbeam damage.
Yep.
Did I not get my other attack or bonus attack then?
No, because this thing was dead from your first attack. James, how do you want to do this?
Hey!
The bullshit is over.
I just like the fact that he's been charmed, done nothing, and then kills him.
Yeah.
That's how these things work.
So, James, your moment. How do you want to do this?
I'm going to fly out the sky, screaming, and as I land, just put both my rapiers through his eyeballs and out the back of the head.
That's fine. It is an attack so horrifying that the Modrons don't have time to get out from underneath the collapsing corpse and are all unfortunately crushed.
How terrible.
Disintegrating as they do into dust. The Court Mother sort of manages to stifle a mild sort of like she's gonna vomit. It's just kind of like, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot to process. And with that, the form of the Archdruid slumps over and dies amidst a pile of robot rubble and vines.
No more heals for James.
Oh well.
I will cut off its antler as a trophy.
Excellent.
You're kind of like a serial killer with that. I'm just throwing it out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely fine. Lours. You feel a tug at your ankle.
Right. Okay, I look at see what's doing it.
You look down and you see a small mole with a bicycle.
Sort of kneel down.
I've got a couple of questions. First of all, how do I explain this to the lads upstairs?
That is an excellent question.
Tiny robots.
Upstairs?
I'm going to need to explain to the Council of Druids exactly what's gone on here. I'm filing a report. And they've already got like their little glasses on. the bike fix
He's-
kickstand. They've got a
yeah.
note.
It's
They've got a
just
notepad
been
out.
revoked.
Warlock, tiny
I
robot.
just I
Druid dead.
just repeat exactly what's happened to him for the sake of expediency.
Right, okay. Mushrooms.
I'll
Warlock,
have what she's having.
tiny robots. Indecipherable pop culture references. All right. You know what? That'll have to do. I'll see
And
you
we broke his
later.
legs.
And he puts his notepad away, hops on his bicycle, and just cycles off into the underbrush.
It was too dear for what he needed.
And that is the story of how you guys managed
Met my
to destroy a druid who went mad with power. And why
Nice.
I will never learn a
To
damn
stop
thing.
demons.
God damn thing. Awesome. Well, thank you to everyone for playing. We will be back same time in 2 weeks. So it's going to be Sunday, the 27th of September.
Yes.
Before we go, just to quickly highlight it, Em, who plays Faye, our Changeling Blood Hunter, is doing the Ration Challenge this week. As part of Ration Challenge UK in partnership with Concern Worldwide. So from today until the 19th of September, she will be eating the same food rations as a Syrian refugee for 1 week. And she's doing this to raise money. So far, she has raised a very impressive £615 out of a £750 target. And all the money raised is helping to provide emergency food, hygiene kits, life-saving support to refugees, as well as supporting Concern Worldwide's wider work of ending hunger and extreme poverty in the world's poorest places. If you want to help her out and donate, go to rationchallenge.org.uk/Emilie Westcott. I will put the link on the end card, which should be appearing on the stream right about now. So, with that, thank you to everyone for watching or listening, however you've been enjoying this week's adventure. But thank you to, once again, all my players. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Most welcome.
Keeping me on my toes with challenging maths
And unexpected accomplices.
and unexpected accomplices.
Can-
Do
can
feel
I ask
free
a question?
You can ask a question, yes?
The druids I throw, did they die?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Job well done.
On later inspection, both of them suffered massive neck trauma. So with that, thanks again everyone for playing. Please consider the gift shop. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, and we'll see you all next time. Good night.
Good evening, Dice Roll fans.
Good night.
Bye-bye.